Thank you, Deputy President. Gambling harm is a scourge on our society and continues to deeply affect individuals and families. For too long, problem gambling has been put into the too hard basket by politicians on both sides. While many have questioned how to address this issue, individuals and families have continued to suffer the consequences from gambling-related harm. Mr Deputy President, I make particular reference to the harm of gaming machines, of which use has continued to increase, particularly after the COVID lockdowns. The New South Wales Gambling Survey in 2019 found that 1% of the general adult population are classified as problem gamblers, with 2.8% considered to be moderate at risk and 6.6% at low risk. Since the last survey conducted in New South Wales problem gamblers in 2011, there's been an increase in the proportion of problem gamblers from 1.2 to 1.9%. Now, these percentages seem low, but let's look at the raw numbers. This accounts for approximately 56,000 people within the New South Wales adult population who are experiencing severe gambling-related harm, otherwise known as problem gamblers, 56,000. Mr Deputy President, this figure is seriously concerning. However, it is not just the person with the gambling problem that is affected, it's also the people around them. Research indicates that each problem gambler can affect up to 6 people around them. There is also approximately 500,000 people in New South Wales experiencing or at risk of gambling-related harm, 500,000. In 2017-18, total gaming expenditure in New South Wales was $8.6 billion. Gaming machines and hotels and clubs contributed 74% of that, or $6.4 billion of that total. As at the 20th of September 2020, there were 2,410 venues, clubs and hotels holding 94,090 gaming machine entitlements in New South Wales, 94,000. In addition, the Star Casino is authorised to operate up to 1,500 gaming machines. Research Commission for the New South Wales Responsible Gambling Fund found that currently the minimum responsible gambling requirements, even when applied appropriately, are not enough to effectively prevent gambling harm. Particularly, the evidence suggests that the informed choice model is failing to have a significant effect on minimising gambling harm, as venues have no regulatory obligation to intervene with patrons who are exhibiting problematic behaviours unless the patron asks for help. Additionally, the research indicates problems with the current self-exclusion schemes. These schemes need to be backed by effective ways to detect breaches, have greater reach and better mix of positives and negative incentives to change behaviour in both individuals and in the venues. In this context, Mr Deputy President, I commend Minister Dominello and the New South Wales Liquor and Gaming for their proposals to reform gambling harm in the Gaming Machines Amendment, Gambling Harm Minimisation Bill 2020 draft legislation and discussion paper, which is on exhibition and which has been subject to some media comment. The government is currently seeking feedback on this bill until 30th of October. You can read it and submit your feedback on the Customer Service website. The proposal is to update the Gaming Machines Act 2001 to improve how hotels and registered clubs minimise gambling harm and provide support to gaming machine players. Mr President, I now turn to the proposed reforms as outlined in this draft bill. They are proposing to better enable venues to proactively engage and assist people who are experiencing or at risk of gambling harm. The proposed changes focus on active intervention and enhanced harm minimisation training requirements, variable self-exclusion periods, changes to referrals for gambling counselling services, third-party and venue-initiated exclusions, a single statewide online exclusion register and whistleblower protections. New South Wales is trailing behind the rest of the nation when it comes to implementing further harm minimisation schemes. Many jurisdictions, particularly Victoria and Queensland, are moving to a broader harm minimisation approach that addresses gambling harm across the spectrum of gamblers through proactive intervention. Mr President, harmful gambling affects many more people than merely the problem gambler. The continued proliferation of gambling machines has created great societal harm. For too long, this issue has been put in a too hard basket. There's a serious need to address this and protect families across New South Wales. We need, as legislators, to do it better. Mr President, I strongly endorse the comments about harmful gambling by the Minister for Customer Service, the Honourable Victor Dominello, and I strongly endorse the discussion paper in the draft bill and encourage members to have a look at it.
The Honourable John Graham.